most of you all will know me probably. When I heard of his passing, three memories came to my mind. And it was a bit nostalgic for me as well. I recall very vividly that when we were young, we were staying in Sembawang. And when we used to have to go to Sunday school, he used to drive the church van, which was white in color. And he will come and pick us up from Sembawang. And we'll go to the Sembawang Park, the end terminal, to have soya bean and nasi lemak, $1 nasi lemak. And then he will come back and fetch the rest of the kids. And then he used to bring us to church. So that was one of the memories that still stays with me. Secondly, he was the first one who brought me to Malaysia. I think we drove for a long, long time. I can't remember. I think I was about 11 or 12. And he brought us to his hometown. And it was a blue car, if I remember correctly. So that was another memory that sticks with me. And thirdly, when I was studying, he used to help me memorize whatever I was studying. And he had this technique, which is I have to remember the books in the storybook, the reading book, and I have to keep flexing my fist as I recited the story. So if I got it wrong, I have to do it again, and that's how he used to train me. I'm here basically to pay my respects to him, and of course, to celebrate the many moments that I think he has touched every one of us in his special way. And I think those small anecdotes in my life and in my memory still stays with me. So I just want to say thanks to Pastor Stephen and to everybody who have actually played a part in our foundational years. Thank you.
He was one of my Sunday school mates. And right now I'd like to invite Pastor Bobby and his wife. They were pastors in New Hope Family Church, the church that Pastor K. Stephen founded and started. And Pastor K. Stephen had the honor and a great privilege. I remember that day. I was there with Pastor K. Stephen on the day of ordination for Pastor Bobby in installation, where he raised up a pastor in the church. That is the man that he is. He always raises people up, and to see the fruit of his labor, the fruit of his ministry today. Pastor Bobby is pastoring the Little India ministry there. I'd like to invite Pastor Bobby and his wife to come and share a few words.
Thank you, everyone, for joining this occasion. We are deeply honored to be standing in this place, me and my wife. And when I met Pastor K. Stephen, out of all that you've shared, one thing struck me so hard is the kind of humbleness. When everyone goes off after the service is over, everything is done, the last thing to do is to clean the place. And one thing that I have taken up from him is I leave the place after I clean it and make sure it is good. I sometimes ask him, Pastor, why do you have to put so much effort to clean the place and make it very neat? He says, it's not about what we do, it is about how a person reflects on us. Depends on how neat we leave the place for another person to use it. Because we were hiring a place for a few hours. And that really struck me how important he kept things as small as this. Another thing I remember is when he said, there were a couple of very deeper discussions we had as a part of starting the church. One thing that he told me was, if you don't work with the Indian community, who else will? Now that really struck me hard. And then me and my wife prayed about it, and then we were convinced, yes, this is where we are called to serve, and that's how we joined Pastor K. Stephen. And after joining, there has been no regrets in our life about what and how he guided us as a mentor, and his family being there for always to support us. He's been a great example for us to look forward. Even as the last 3 days we've been recollecting what great things that he has left us behind. There is nothing more greater than to raise somebody to lead and to set forth the destiny for a church and leave a legacy. That's amazing. And God knows whom to use, where to use, and how to use. And exactly that's what God did with Pastor K. Stephen.
I would like to thank for Pastor's life and how he influenced us and how he brought us into this ministry. He is the one who took us to where we are today. We have been doing many work for God, and he gave us the direction which we are now. And we know he is a person who God sent in our life to guide us, to encourage us. It was so comfortable to be with him, the way that he does things in the church, or how he talks to us. We never felt he's like a big pastor. He is always like so close to us. Thank you for him and for his life.
Thank you so much. At this time, we're going to have the recession. Let's rise up to our feet, dear friends. I request Pastor Bobby and team to come. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were born, O thou didst give birth to the earth and the world. Even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Thou dost turn man back into dust, and thou sayest, Return, O children of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are like yesterday when it passes by, or as watch in the night. Thou hast swept them away like a flood. They fall asleep. In the morning they are like grass which sprouts anew. In the morning it flourishes and it sprouts anew. Towards evening it fades and withers away. For we have been consumed by thine anger, and by thy wrath we have been dismayed. Thou hast placed our iniquities before thee, our secret sins in the light of thy presence. For all our days have declined in thy fury. We have finished our years like a sigh. As for our days, our life, they contain 70 years. Or if due strength, 80 years. Yet their pride is but labor and sorrow. For soon it is gone and we fly away. Even to our old age, I shall be the same. And even to your graying years, I shall bear you. I have done it, and I shall carry you. And I shall bear you, and I shall deliver you. And this is the promise that God has given. And I believe this is what is said of Pastor K. Stephen. For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come. I have fought a good fight. I have finished the course, and I've kept the faith. Amen. This is said of this man of God that he has truly fought a good fight. He has kept the faith, and he has finished his race. Amen. Amen. At this time, we'll be proceeding to Mandai Crematorium Hall number 2. I request all those who will be carrying pallbearers to come, please, and join us.